Well, Nick just missed one, so we're going to roll the camera again here, and as I say, I don't do any editing.
When you're out there doing this kind of fishing, whether you're fishing with a float or you're casting little spoons that imitate fry or something, or anything, the fish cutthroat are pretty non-selective of what they bite. If it's available, they'll usually go after it.
You got him.
This is a whitefish, I think.
Is it?
It's pretty small. Probably, it feels like a whitefish. Yep.
Yeah, well, let's take a look at him. Viewers would like to see that. How old a fish would that be, Nick?
Well, I'm not sure. These whitefish, I would imagine he's a couple of years too. And as you can see with the whitefish, a lot of people, sometimes the odd time you'll catch some coarse fish this time of year, but you can see he has an adipose fin, so he's a game fish. And you can see they have a very, very small mouth.
Yeah.
They're very hard to catch. You know, you have to use a pretty small hook and a small bait to catch them. And the Fraser actually is full of whitefish, and that's really a sign of a healthy river. I mean, if they weren't here, they're monitors of our fishery, really. And the day that we don't see any more of them, then I think we're in trouble.
Now, people, if they wanted to eat those, they can retain whitefish,
yes,
can they, Nick?
Can retain whitefish, yeah. But I'm not sure. I can't remember for sure what the limit is. It's more than trout, I know. I think it's something like 8 or 10 a day. And they're a little bit bony, but they're actually quite good eating. I know people that do take them, usually smoke them or whatever, right? But I mean, this kind of fishery, it's what we call a shoulder type fishery to the steelhead and everything else, but it makes a really nice day or a nice afternoon, and there's usually some action.
Well, you've only made half a dozen casts, and you've had a couple of bites, and we've hooked 2 fish.
And you know, one day you'll come and you'll fish a spot and you'll get, you know, next to nothing or 1 or 2, and then you'll come 2 days later and you'll hook 10. And so I mean, it's not every day is the same. And because these fish move up and down the river, they're always, especially cutthroat, they're always constantly looking for food. So you know, they'll come to an area and there'll be some grub around or some food, and they'll hang around there, and then it seems to dwindle, so they go looking elsewhere.
Now, I'm not sure if you touched on that. Just explain that these are sea run. Then they go out to the ocean then after they spawn, Nick, or?
Yes, these are sea run cutthroat. Sea run cutthroat, especially at least the ones here in the Fraser Valley and that one, they're anadromous fish, but they're not like salmon or steelhead. They don't go to the river, to the ocean, spend years in the ocean, then come and then come back. He said what they do is they leave fresh water when they become smolts, and usually with cutthroat it's very similar to steelhead. It's like when they're about 6 to 9 inches long, and then they'll go to sea, but they usually go in May, and the first time they come back is in August, September. They come back in. They don't spend a long time. I think a lot of fish maybe only go out as far as the mouth of the Fraser, onto those beaches around Mud Bay and places like that possibly, and then by the fall they're coming back. So they'll come back in the first year, they'll come back in the fall as 10 to 14 inch fish, nice silver, very hard bodied, and then they'll go back out again the next spring, and then go back to sea, and they'll come back again in August, September the next year, and by then they're a 3-year-old, okay? And then they start to get, and cutthroats start spawning at usually the age 3 to 4, 5, something like that, okay?
Oh, yes.
Oh, there's another whitefish, just missed him. But like you say, I mean, you can see that this can be a lot of fun. You're always getting bites if you find the right spot. I mean, you'll go down and fish some spots, you won't get a bite. And don't spend too much time when you're looking for them. If you come to an area and you fish it for 20 minutes, half hour, and you get absolutely nothing, then move. Go down, up the river, down the river, just go to a different area, because obviously if they're there, they're really, you'll get some indication there. You know, you get some little bites, or you'll hook a bunch of fish right away or whatever.
Now, for children there, I mean, you could be fishing on the bottom, because younger people maybe have trouble casting.
We're fishing with a float, but you could fish on the bottom, and you can use single salmon eggs, little pieces of roe, you can use worms. And
Nick is concentrating. He just had a bite, now he's up in the trees. Yeah, well, we all do that. I remember years ago we were filming, we were up in the trees.
Yeah, that was on the vetter for coho.
Well,
I remember that.
It's always nice to have a blooper. At least you didn't break off, I don't think.
No,
Or did you?
no.
Oh no.
Everything's here. But maybe, Chris, on this cast, right?
Yeah.
Just pan on the float, and the folks, you'll see the bite. You'll see a lot of them.
Okay.
These little bumps where they just, sometimes they don't even pull it under. They just pull it sideways.
Yeah, I have
And the whitefish are typical with that. Usually, if a good sized trout or a bull trout or a dolly barden bite, they pull her down good. But a lot of the whitefish and that, they'll piddle, but even feeder cutthroat, the smaller cutthroat, see that?
Yeah, I see that, but I'm having trouble finding that little float. They still at it, and you've got them.
We got them now.
I don't know if I picked the float going up, but
I think this is another whitefish, maybe slightly bigger than the last one, I think. Well, guess what? We let them go. Catch and release.
well, that's okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's a good one. We'll stop the camera for a minute here and see if we can hook into a bigger
Sure.
swanner here.
You bet.
And I hope everybody's enjoying this video. And we're with the Fraser Valley Salmon Society, and we'll be having, we're going to do a steelhead one later on too, out on the vetter when there's a few fish out there. Anyway, we're going to take a break here for a minute, and see you shortly.